Blue Ocean Strategy by W. Chan, Kim and Renée Mauborgne. How to create your own market. Emily Bennett here again, and today we're diving into one of the most game-changing business concepts out there, Blue Ocean Strategy by W. Chan, Kim and Renée Mauborgne. Now, if you're not familiar with the term, you're in for a treat because this one's all about creating new market space where there's no competition, just you, sailing freely in your own blue ocean. It takes me back to my time in Cambridge, Massachusetts, during my master's at Harvard. Now let me tell you, the Harvard hostel life? Absolute madness. You've got some of the brightest minds all crammed together, and everyone's working hard, hustling day and night, trying to break into industries that are already packed tighter than a rush-hour tube train. And when you're surrounded by that kind of environment, it becomes clear, fighting to compete in a crowded space is exhausting. I remember sitting in the common room with a couple of mates, cradling cups of dodgy hostel coffee, and talking about what comes next after graduation. Everyone was thinking the same thing. How do we break into these industries where everyone seems to be fighting for a piece of the same pie? And that's where Blue Ocean Strategy comes into play. It's about creating a new pie entirely, a market space that's all yours, with no competition in sight. So, stick with me as we dive into the Blue Ocean Strategy, with some fun examples, a bit of Harvard hostel chaos, and tips on how you can create your own market space, whether you're starting a business, launching a product, or just trying to stand out in whatever field you're in. 1. Red ocean versus blue ocean. Stop competing, start creating. First up, let's break down what a red ocean and a blue ocean are. In the business world, a red ocean is a market where everyone is fighting for the same thing. It's bloody, competitive, and overcrowded. Think about it. Industries like fast food, mobile phones, or online retail are full of companies all trying to beat each other on price or features. It's cutthroat. A blue ocean, on the other hand, is all about creating new demand in an uncontested market space. Instead of trying to steal customers from your competitors, you create your own market where you don't even have competition. Sounds dreamy, right? Let me give you a fun Harvard example. There was this one guy in the hostel. We'll call him Tom. Tom was obsessed with the idea of starting a company, but he didn't want to compete in the crowded industries like tech or finance, where most of the other students were headed. Instead, he came up with this mad idea to launch a business around eco-friendly packaging for takeaways. At the time, no one was thinking about sustainable packaging, and the market was wide open. Tom wasn't competing with the big players in tech. He was creating his own market where he could be the leader from the start. That's the essence of Blue Ocean Strategy. You don't have to fight for a slice of the pie, you can just bake your own. 2. Value innovation, the heart of Blue Ocean Strategy. Now, let's talk about the secret sauce of Blue Ocean Strategy, value innovation. This is what sets the whole thing apart from traditional business strategies. The idea is to increase value for your customers while reducing costs. Instead of trying to do everything better than your competitors, you do things differently and focus on what really matters to your customers. Back during my time at Harvard, one of my professors used to bang on about this constantly. He called it solving the right problems. And he was spot on. Most companies spend their time tweaking things that customers don't even care about, instead of focusing on what actually adds value. A great example of this? Cirque du Soleil. Instead of competing with traditional circuses, where everyone was battling over the best animal acts and three-ring spectacles, Cirque du Soleil created a completely new market. They combined elements of theater and circus, scrapped the expensive animal acts, and focused on providing a more artistic and sophisticated experience. By innovating in value, they created a blue ocean, and boom, no competition, just success. Back in the hostel, Tom used the same approach with his eco-packaging business. Instead of trying to compete on price or volume, he focused on solving a real problem, the fact that people wanted more sustainable options for their takeaways. And by doing that, He created value in a market no one else was looking at. 3. The 4 Actions Framework: How to Create Your Blue Ocean. Now, here's where blue ocean strategy gets really practical. Kim and Mauborgne introduced something called the 4 Actions Framework, which is basically a guide to creating your own blue ocean. It's simple, but powerful. The 4 questions are: eliminate. What factors in your industry can you eliminate that aren't adding value? Reduce. What factors should be reduced below the industry standard? Raise. What factors should be raised above the industry standard? Create. What new factors can you create that the industry has never offered? Let's go back to Tom and his packaging business. Here's how he applied the 4 Actions Framework. Eliminate. He eliminated traditional plastic packaging, which was standard but not eco-friendly. Reduce. He reduced the complexity of packaging design, keeping it simple and cost-effective. Raise. He raised the focus on environmental impact, offering customers a way to reduce their carbon footprint with every takeaway. Create. He created a new product category, sustainable packaging that looked good and felt premium, but was still affordable. That's the magic of the 4 Actions Framework. It gives you a structured way to think about how you can innovate in your industry without getting bogged down by competition. 4. Avoid the red ocean trap. Don't get stuck competing. Here's a warning for you. Don't fall into the red ocean trap. Even if you've carved out your blue ocean, it's easy to get dragged back into a competitive mindset once others start noticing your success. The key is to keep innovating and stay ahead of the game. At Harvard, I saw this happen all the time. Someone would come up with a brilliant idea, but the moment they started seeing success, they'd start looking at their competitors again. Instead of staying in their blue ocean, they'd drift back into the crowded, bloody waters of the red ocean, where everyone was fighting for the same customers. Tom's business faced the same challenge when other companies started jumping on the eco-friendly bandwagon. But instead of getting caught up in the competition, he kept innovating. He expanded into biodegradable cutlery and compostable bags. He wasn't trying to beat anyone at their own game. He was playing his own game and continuing to grow his blue ocean. 5. The power of non-customers, your biggest opportunity. One of the biggest insights from blue ocean strategy is the idea of targeting non-customers, people who aren't currently buying from your industry. While most companies focus on winning over their competitors' customers, blue ocean strategy tells you to look beyond the existing market and think about who isn't being served. During my time at Harvard, I worked on a project about healthcare access in underdeveloped areas. Instead of looking at how to get more people to use existing services, we focused on the people who weren't using healthcare at all. By shifting our focus to non-customers, we discovered a whole new market segment that wasn't being served. In the business world, this is massive. Cirque du Soleil didn't just attract circus goers, they attracted theater fans, art lovers, and people who wouldn't have gone to a traditional circus. By tapping into non-customers, they created an entirely new market. If you're looking to create your own blue ocean, think about who's not being served in your industry right now. Who's missing out, and how can you create something that appeals to them? So, there you have it. Blue ocean strategy in a nutshell, with a few fun Harvard hostel stories thrown in for good measure. Whether you're launching a business, working on a side hustle, or just trying to stand out in a crowded field, the key takeaway is this: stop competing and start creating. Find your own blue ocean, innovate in value, and tap into non-customers. Let me know in the comments, what's your blue ocean? How are you thinking about creating new market space? And don't forget to subscribe for more insights on strategy, success, and everything in between. Cheers for watching, and remember, don't get stuck in the red ocean. There's a whole blue ocean out there waiting for you.